G'day race fans, welcome to this week's edition of Spruikers Doomben Cup this weekend. The Brisbane Winter Carnival kicked off in earnest last weekend with the BTC Sprint. You nearly pulled off your tip there with Melito, Mick, but Albert the Plump got up for us. How are you?
I'm going well, Jakey boy. Yeah, going well. Would have been nicer if Melito stuck her nose out a little bit further, but yeah, we'll get the cash this week.
Absolutely. We'll discuss how we're going to get the cash in a moment. Before we do, let's get all the racing news and get up to date with all that with Nat at the news desk.
Thanks, Jake. Saturday's Group 1 Doomben Cup will be the last race for Road to Rock after it was announced on Monday that New Zealand's Wellfield Lodge has secured him for stud duties from next season. Road to Rock is the second favourite behind Hollingdale Stakes winner Metal Bender to take out the 2,020 metre feature. Metal Bender will go into Saturday's race with jockey Karen McAvoy at the reins after Hugh Bowman decided not to seek a stay of proceedings against an 8-meeting careless riding suspension. And that's the latest news ahead of the Doomben Cup. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Nat. Road to Rock off to greener pastures, Mick.
Lucky
Somewhat
boy.
Jealous.
Yeah, I wish someone had put me out to stud.
He's a $4 second favourite in the Doomben Cup, which Metal Bender holds favouritism in at 3.30. I've seen Metal Bender at less than 2 to 1 with some other betting shops around. So
Shopping very well at 3.30.
And you may even get slightly better as the money comes for Road to Rock. For Metal Bender comes Saturday afternoon. Metal Bender was a pretty impressive winner though of the Hollandaise at the Gold Coast. Yeah. Do you think Road to Rock came home really well? It probably had a little bit too much distance to make up in the straight. That said, Metal Bender was a pretty comfortable victor, I think, and probably has a little more in the tank. I think going into this race, we'll win again.
We'll win
Declaring
again.
it.
Yeah.
At 3.30. Do you give any chances to the likes of Goldwater at $8 or the Kiwis at time?
Road to Rock and Goldwater, I think they've probably had too much racing, and I think you're spot on. Metal Bender's going to be the fresh horse on the scene. Sir Timekeeper's a very, very good horse from New Zealand. I think 10 to 1, he's probably an each-way threat.
Kiwi horses tend to succeed at the Brisbane Carnival.
They do. They love the sunshine, I think.
And I mean, Albert the Fat showed last week that there's no such thing as a fait accompli in racing.
That's right. Yeah, Big Albie. No, that was... stop reminding me of that. But no, look, I think Sir Timekeeper's probably the only danger to Metal Bender in that race, I would say. Dr. Fremantle's a good horse, but he's got a lot of problems.
I was about to ask you about him. He's a bit of a head case, isn't he?
Just
foot
abscesses or hoof abscesses and everything else.
In Europe in his time.
He's a very, very good horse. If Freddie ever gets him right, he'll win a very good race. But whether he's just had an interrupted prep, might be against him.
And what of Metal Bender's stablemate, Triple Honour? He's $12 at present. He never seems to run too bad a race. He's always thereabouts.
I think Triple Honour's claim to fame, other than the couple of Group 1s that he snagged, is he is the best performed offspring of Honour's list in the world.
Is that right?
And do you know who number 3 on that list is?
Something that you...
The mighty Honourable Kind.
There you go.
He's won 3 races or 4 races. So that's, I think,
who punctuates those two? Triple Honour and
something in Brazil.
Fantastic. Metal Bender, I'm picking him on top as well. I think he'd be very hard to beat. Not quite as bullish as you, but it's a great card at Doomben. A host of Group 2 and Group 3 races, including the BRC Sprint. Beated, I think, will be very hard to beat here. She was placed in the All-Age Stakes at Randwick last start. Surely that's good enough form for this against the likes of Mr. Baritone and Adrenaline, Huxon amongst others under the handicap conditions.
And with a very good barrier as well, barrier 6, she'll just posse up behind the speed, 4th or 5th, and she should be winning that.
Tissue prices aren't up for that race yet, but I would expect Beated to be favourite in that race. And I think
so around the 2 to 1, 5 to 2 mark?
Yeah, I think she'll win accordingly. The Doomben Rose is another terrific race for the 3-year-old staying fillies aiming towards the Oaks. Mahita is a Victorian filly trained by Michael Moroney and I think owned by Steve Moran, among other people.
Right, I didn't know that. Oh, well, Steve, if you've got a share in Mahita, all the best.
Steve and Neil Donnelly, I think, have a share in her. She's pretty promising. I think she'll be hard to beat, but I think you've picked one out here as well, haven't you, Mick, in this race?
Well, sticking with the Kiwi theme, there's a couple down the bottom there that are going to be big double-figure odds. Spera, trained by John Sargent, and Come On Cuba, trained by Donna Logan. I think both of those could run a big race.
I think particularly if there's ongoing wet weather, I think you're right there. I'm tipping Mahita on top there, though. I think she's been pretty impressive in a couple of runs in Melbourne. The Fred Best Classic is another pretty good race for the 3-year-olds. Striker, Lorne and Grace Valana are probably the class animals in this event. Grace Valana's, of course, the Magic Million 3-year-old winner. Impressive winner at the Gold Coast, that their feature meeting a couple of weeks ago. Is she the good thing of the day?
She should be winning this, yeah. Should be winning this and then climb the markets for the Stradbroke in a few weeks' time.
Alrighty, well, let's find out if indeed Grace Valana is your best bet of the day in a moment. But let's catch up with Nat again to get her Betfair Big Spruik of Doomben Cup weekend.
The Betfair.
My Betfair Big Spruik in the Doomben Cup this week, guys, is going to be Road to Rock. I know you think he's run one too many races in the lead-up, but I think he has one more hurrah left in him, so Road to Rock to take out the Doomben Cup in his swan song.
Thanks, Nat. Hopefully, for your sake, Road to Rock has one last effort in him before he goes off to things that he'd probably be enjoying a little bit more.
I hope the stud farm he's going to hopes he's got plenty more efforts in him.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you kindly, Michael Sharkey. Can you give us your Betfair Big Spruik of Doomben Cup Day, please?
Look, I can't separate Metal Bender in the Doomben Cup and Grace Valana in the Lyndhurst Fred Best Classic. I think they're two favourites. They're going to be around the 2 to 1 mark, the $3 thereabouts. I think they'll both be winning.
Well, the Fred Best is, I think, race 3, so maybe plonk something on Grace Valana, then
All up.
all up into Metal Bender. I think that Grace Valana is also my Betfair Big Spruik of the week. I think she's a very impressive filly and heading towards the Stradbroke, for which she is a $13.50 shot at this stage, and about the 7 or 8th
Could
line
trim up after this.
of betting on Betfair. Hortensia's a $5.90 favourite in the Stradbroke, just incidentally, and Latin News was quite a good run in the BTC Sprint at $8. Michael, all the very best of luck.
And you,
for
Jake?
This weekend. I
Punt
hope
well.
Metal Bender gets up, and I hope Grace Valana does as well. Punters, I hope you have some success this weekend as well, and we'll catch up with you next week.